All right. Hey, welcome everybody to It Came From GenX. Yeah, that's right. I'm still Keith Porter, and he is still Brian Fishbone Fisher, one of my bestest buddies in the whole world, and co-host of this show. Welcome back, Fish. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, brother. Nice evening tonight. Nice dinner with Allie beforehand. Good to see you yesterday over at
Yeah, great
Coach
weekend.
Cooper's house, celebrating his
Yeah,
birthday.
we
Yep.
want to say happy birthday to Coach Cooper, Jon Cooper. You know him from a little bit of this show, but certainly from reality football.
Hmm.
Uh, been best friends for over 30 years. You guys even longer. And
Yep.
just want to say happy birthday to him. That you know how much we love him. And it was great for all of us to be together yesterday, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice family and friend time. Chilled
Mm-hmm.
out. Good food.
Missed our
Football
boy.
festivities. Yep.
We missed our boy Skinner, Mike
Hmm.
Skinner, still not back from vacation yet. We will see him soon. He was certainly missed yesterday, but a lot of good family and friends there yesterday. So I had a great time and relaxed today. So I'm
Hmm.
ready to get this thing rolling. How about you, man?
Yeah, me too, brother. Yep.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so Kiss World Tour 77. Nice t-shirt. That sucker looks brand new, man. You just get that?
Yeah, brand new Walmart, $7. I tell you what, Walmart, you can catch some. I'm serious, man. You can catch
Wow.
some good retro shirts over there.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like seven. It's less than $8 out the door. So they fit good, nice bright color. I never had any
Yeah,
problem with their shirts. They don't wear off. I mean, the design is they're good. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice cheap retro shirt, man,
it looks great.
Walmart, Target has a bunch of good ones too. Target,
Really?
or yeah,
Okay.
yeah, very reasonably priced, good quality shirts. So if you want to just run in, grab one and go,
Now
two good
I'm a
places to go.
little retro and new.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we all
Ready to
remember
sweep a leg.
yes, Karate Kid, one of the great movies of our time from the '80s.
Mm.
But this is the Cobra Kai shirt, the new internet show, which is really really great. New season coming up here in a month or so, I hope, and I look
Yeah.
forward to that. So
Yep. Coming
I
up.
said, man, I got to get me a new shirt, try to keep up with Fish. I mean, I'm not in your league, but I wanted to get something for today. So, hey, let's get this thing cooking, man. First of all, I want to say thank you to my boy Christopher's Dominic. Had a great meeting with him last week. Um, man, they're really getting that station together, WMBU. Some great things are happening. Really proud of what they've done down there. And wanted to say thank you to him and Mr. Mendenhall. We don't mention him enough, man.
No, we
But
sure don't.
he's the man behind everything. And Warner Mendenhall, we want to say thank you very much to him. Also to Mike Skinner Jr. for producing this wonderful affectation of reality called It Came From Gen X. If you are new to the show, we want to say welcome. This is a show about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness through the eyes of Gen Xers. And we hope you learn, we hope you laugh, and we hope you think. Welcome to our listeners overseas. We are so grateful to have you with us today. And we encourage anybody to, contact us, email us, Facebook us, throw something at us if you see us in the streets, whatever it may be. Fish,
Hmm.
tell them where they can find the show.
Well, you can find us on WMVU.org, Global Internet Radio, as you just mentioned, Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Just pull up their site or their app and let's hit play live listen now, something like that, and then you'll
Mhm.
get their live stream of our show. Uh, and all their other good content is there. You can play us whenever you want to on demand on your favorite podcast platforms. We're on many out there, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Give us a subscribe for free. And as we post new episodes, they'll pop in your podcast feed. And if you are able to, give us a rating and review. Helps others find the show. Tell a friend. We appreciate that too. All show information, YouTube channel, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those great links are found in two main places. Our Linktree page, just look up Linktree. It came from Gen X, all one word, and you'll get a nice platform page and links to all of our social media accounts and all that good stuff. Give us some follows there to keep. And our website, it came from GenX, one word, .wordpress.com. It came from GenX.wordpress.com. Check us out there. Again, all information's there for you. Links to current episodes, links to videos and our YouTube channel, promos, all kinds of fun stuff there. So if you just go to one place, go to our website.
Right.
And if you were inclined, give our posts a follow. And as we post new episodes on Spotify, you'll get an email if you would like, and you could listen to us through a link right through your emails. So appreciate your support out there. If you like our stuff, want to buy us a new T-shirt or something like that, go to our webpage and consider becoming a Patreon. If you would like, don't have to do that, but if you want to give us a buck a month or something like that to contribute, certainly feel free to do that. Appreciate your support. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, I got a few quick announcements.
Sure.
Okay, so just want to announce some of the those of you who are in the Akron area, which is where we are centrally located. Some up and coming shows on December 18th at the Empire Concert Club here in Akron on Talmadge Avenue. I will be performing with the Diamond Phillips Band, opening for 80s hit band Enough is Enough. And looking forward to that. And on December 16th, I will be at Lou's Tavern in Perry Heights. And really excited about that gig. I will be with Eric Brook. Eric Brook, I call him the Fresh Prince of Canton. Canton's favorite son. He won Entertainer of the Year. This guy is a nonstop machine. He has been a staple in the entertainment industry well over 30 years. Incredible entertainer. I will be performing with him and the great Al McKenzie. Al McKenzie made his mark here in Akron with the band Fox 20, 30 years ago, and now is in the National Recording Artist Band Firehouse. So the three of us will be at Lou's Tavern in Perry Heights on the 16th. And of course, I will be downtown Maslin on December 11th, performing a Christmas special, Spotlight Dinner Theater. Looking forward to that. But also, I just want to announce a new show coming out called The Porterhouse. It will be an interview show, and the show is all about one theme, and that's hope. You might see kids, you might see an author, you might see a medical profession, you might see anything, but I will be interviewing anybody who is in this area that is providing hope for the masses, and hope is that it's something that will put a smile on people's face. So look for The Porterhouse coming not only to the internet, but to WMBU.org. All right.
Very good. I have an announcement too, because I'll be at the Old 97 here in Kenmore on Saturday.
Okay.
I will not be doing anything. I will be drinking and celebrating a friend's birthday. So there you have it. So
celebrating whose birthday?
Surma turns 50 coming up. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, that's the 21st, right?
That is, whatever Saturday, 28th, 21st, whatever. Yeah, so
yes. That's also my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Yeah.
God dang. Right, it is Saturday. Well, so, if you're celebrating, come on out and say hello. So we also do have a new, I don't know if it's a sponsor per se, partner, if you will. So the RPM Bike Shop. So it's 3 letters, RPM, Bike Shop. You can find their Facebook page. Just look up RPM Bike Shop. It is a very cool electric bike family business. So happens to be the sister and brother-in-law of Coach Cooper. They found these electric bikes as they were kind of traveling around and all that, but you could ride the bike like a normal bike, or you could use the electric power to give you some extra boost up hills and go farther and that type of thing. Saw the bikes on the weekend. They are beautiful bikes.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say, this isn't just a sponsor. We saw these up close. They are nothing short of but incredible. If I would have heard about them, and of course I saw the pictures when I saw the Facebook page, they were cool. I didn't think much about them. But when you see these up close, they will blow your mind. They're absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So go check out their page, RPM Bike Shop on Facebook. Give them a like if you're interested. Message them right through Facebook, and they'll be happy to work with you and give you, some quotes and all that if you were in the market for a new bike.
Yes.
Great for campers, great for towpath riders or whatever it is, and campers, all that good stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
check them
if
out.
you mention it came from GenX, that you heard it
Hmm.
here,
That's
they'll
right.
give you a receipt.
That's
So
right.
yes.
That's right. They will say, "Isn't that the podcast I think that somebody I know does or something like that?" They might say something
Something
like that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right. All right, buddy. You ready for some world news?
I am.
Ew. So we're handling the world news segment since Skinner's not here. So
Hmm.
we're kind of doing double duty today. You want to go first? Or let me go first.
Uh, you go first here, bud. Go ahead. Go right
Okay.
ahead.
So I got a very important world news. This isn't a world news story,
Hmm.
but this is an anniversary, if you will, and it's really something to think about where we are today. 61 years ago today, 4 federal marshals escorted 6-year-old Ruby Bridges to her first day of school. Now, please keep that in mind. 6 years old. As the first Black student to attend a previously all-white William Frantz Elementary School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Trying to wrap my head around a 6-year-old surrounded by what probably looked like giants to her. 4 federal
Hmm.
marshals. Incredible, courageous little girl. This was a tough time in America. It was a bold move. It was a necessary move. It's a shame that it had to be a move, but it was only 61 years ago today, Fish.
Yeah.
I don't even have a question for this. I'm just going to let you go, buddy.
Yeah. It's just everything you said. Is just to imagine that what that little girl must have been feeling, and her parents just fearful of their
Unbelievable.
daughter, and just
Mhm.
the really terrible, horrible things that I'm sure people were saying and
Absolutely.
throwing or whatever the hell they were doing. It's really just a horrible time in American history. But on the positive sense, certainly, I mean, her having, like you say, the courage and the family to say,
Mm-hmm.
no, this means something. We're going to try to do something to help change America. And man, that little girl went in there and did it, and it's just really quite an amazing story.
It
So
really is. It really is.
yeah, and it's not that long ago, like you say. It's really almost in our lifetime
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
at beyond a Gen X lifetime here that really that
Not too
happens.
far.
So yeah.
Not even a decade, if you will. I was going to ask the question, how far have we come or something related to that. But one thing I've learned, I don't like asking those questions anymore because I really found out that it's all relative. And I say it's relative because it depends on where you're living. And I've had to learn that because I see these
Yeah.
stories on the news and they're depicting life in America um, in a racial component. And sometimes I look at some of these stories and I'm going, oh, that's not the world I know, you know?
Hmm.
And I have to realize that everybody's situation is different in different areas of the country. And I'm so grateful to live where we live. Certainly, we have idiots everywhere, but just my world, my surroundings, and I get around. Just the great people I know. We are, we're very close of every variety, and it's a basically, you know, give respect to get respect type of situation. So I just to anybody who are still living in situations where they're dealing with racism in schools and it's certainly going on. It's certainly going on. I see the stories. I've seen the stories where the kids that graduated and put KKK symbols in the yearbook. I've seen it all. Um, or wore hoods to a party. Those stories are out there. So we still have a long way to go. But I just want to say happy anniversary to Ruby Bridges and thank you.
Yeah.
thank you for being the most courageous 6-year-old girl in history. Her parents, wow. I'm glad you brought that up to say, yeah, go ahead and go. I mean, that's what you call being a pioneer. That's because you're risking it all, man. I don't know if I could have done it, Fish.
No,
I don't know if I could have done it. So I just thought that was too important for us to let go by. So that's my world news story.
That's great. I remember being just scared shit going into middle school and it's junior high school. That was scary enough. That was going in a bunch of, crazy, white kids, and just to think what that little girl was going through years later. It's really astounding.
We went to the same junior high.
Yeah.
And of course, our first year there, that was the second year had got integrated.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of tension there with people, and I personally never had an it problem. I got there, I was excited. That's who I've been all my life, and made friends immediately. And a lot of the white kids, I had white kids tell me I had never even seen a black person up close. Like, you're kidding me. And this day and age, you can live in a world that in your small cocoon that you can go and not see a black person. I thought that was terrible, but it was very telling. It was very telling. So can't imagine. All right. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, definitely on a lighter note, just with a big
lighter note or lighter note?
Lighter note. not as tense, I guess. I don't know.
Just making sure you didn't say a whiter note.
No.
Okay.
No. So in the world of politics, just they signed the president signed a bipartisan infrastructure package today. So it's a $1.2 trillion package. It's going to provide a lot of funding for roads, bridges, transit, rail, upgrade the broadband, put chargers for electric cars, improving water and water systems and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff. It's the largest package in quite some time.
It's humongous.
Yeah. So I mean, you're allowed to have your political beliefs, and we really could not care less on this show what your political beliefs are. It's fine. I mean, there's, we're not here to tell you one way is better than the other. I mean, it was nice to see that. Yeah, this was not a clean vote. So there were Democrats that voted against it. There were Republicans that voted for it. At the end of the day, if it hopefully provides some improvements to the country that are badly needed to allow us to compete with other nations like China and others. And hopefully it'll put some folks to work who are looking for construction jobs and engineering positions and stuff like that. So that's the hope here. So again, some people don't like it. They're going to think it's spending too much money. But at the end of the day, personally, I think it's a good thing. And it's certainly the biggest thing that, like you say, that we've seen in at least a decade, as far as the government coming together. At the end of the day, if the government can come together and do something positive, what the hell it is, it's good for the country. So that's it. So I just wanted to bring that up, that it was a kind of a big deal. Any thoughts on the infrastructure?
Absolutely. First of all, to any of these morons that think we're spending too much money, it's kind of like, if you're not going to spend it, if that's too much money, then what is worth spending money for? Okay, that's exactly how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
And like you said, it wasn't a clean vote because you always got idiots on both sides that are still playing partisan politics. If we didn't come up with the idea, it's no good. Regardless how good the idea is, or vice versa. And I'm just glad to see, especially, Biden's not exactly killing it in the, approval ratings right now.
Definitely not.
And I'm not here, like I said, to do politics at the moment, but I don't care about what people think. I'm not speaking my opinion. I remember seeing a lot of Trump supporters saying, during the election, if Biden wins, you're going to love those gas prices. I was like, that was just kind of a footnote I wanted to watch. Now, I'm not saying one thing or another, but all I know is, as soon as that guy got in the office, we're getting close to $4 a gallon. We're heading that way, So I'm bringing that point up to say that this guy is not exactly killing it in the approval ratings right now. It was nice to see something get done
Mm-hmm.
And for hands to reach across the aisle and say, you know what, this is for the benefit of the nation. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do this.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest complaints about the Obama administration was I didn't feel he had done enough to welcome Republicans to try to do more bipartisan things. And that was very disappointing. So this is a great thing. Once we are losing at the superpowers wars, if you will.
Yeah.
We're so behind. It's not even funny. Two, we need to get America back to work with more what the word I'm looking for, modern work, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Not just any old kind of jobs, but when you mentioned the internet infrastructure, we're moving off of broadband. We're moving into fiber optics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be incredible when that completely takes over. So it's just good to see. That's the greatest job in the world if you live in Northeast Ohio, man. I mean, these guys have been working on the same highway for 5-10 years right now. So
you got that.
I can't even imagine what this is going to do. So, and I look, if you notice some of the highways around here, you see some of the posts for the new bridges. Man, this is going to be amazing around here when they get done with it. So just to see this happen all across the country, just an upgrade. It's like an upgrade. You want to improve your house. This is great for the country. I'm so excited about it.
Absolutely. You got bridges falling down. You got, even around this area, I'm sure every area could speak to the same. There's roads in some of the areas around. It's like driving in a third world country.
It shouldn't be.
Some of these roads. It's like we're in the United States. I mean, it's some of this crap shouldn't be this.
And some of the materials that they use should be upgraded as well.
Absolutely.
And one thing I wanted to say too is, I lost my train of thought here. But I was really excited about. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's a great thing. So excited.
Yeah. So good stuff there. So that's what I got in my world news story today, brother.
Okay. All right. Well, movies. Can we do a movie review real quick?
Sure.
You want to do pop culture?
Yeah. Let's move into it. That's perfectly fine.
Let's do some pop culture, man.
Yeah.
The Eternals.
So you finally saw it?
Finally saw it.
Okay, lay it on me.
And I went down. I made the trip to Tinsel. No, I went to Cinemark in Chicago Falls.
Okay.
Which is just like Tinseltown. So
nice loungers and all that nice stuff.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, picked your seats and everything, which there was nobody in there. We could have sat anywhere, but it was just great. We did the XD theater, which goes from side to side, wall to wall.
Okay.
I thought the movie was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It wasn't. I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't what I expected. I thought one thing I like is that the Eternals I thought was done not the Eternals, the Celestials were done justice.
Okay.
Normally when you have a larger than life character like that, they do something stupid, a la Fantastic Four, Galactus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or you never get to actually see them, or they do something stupid. So I was really glad to see Arishem in all his glory, especially when they would show him talking to an Eternal, and you would get an idea of the dimension of these incredible creatures. Like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was incredible. And I gotta say this, man, for the first time ever, Angelina Jolie, I get it.
Okay.
I didn't know why this woman was so popular. This is the only woman I've seen where I've talked to women who talk about, oh man, I like her. Men and women are in love after this chick. I'm like, I don't see it. For some reason in this movie, I got it. She was something, man. I thought she was spectacular. Selma Hayek was great. I understand the controversy in some of the overseas countries banning the movie. Because the man-on-man kiss. And I know some people aren't going to like me saying this. I know it's light, but I don't think it was necessary to the story. But that's where we are in today's movies and TV shows. If it was relevant to the story, that would be one thing. I just thought it was totally irrelevant, and I didn't think they did themselves a service. but some people look at it differently. But I thought the movie was in itself was really spectacular. Really, after we've seen Marvel earlier phases, we kind of know what's happening right now, how it's setting up character after character after character, and I'm excited.
Very
Thoughts?
good. I still have not seen it yet. So
you haven't seen it yet? Oh, my gosh.
No, just haven't made it. Allie and I looked at the showtime tonight, actually. We talked about going maybe on Friday. And Friday is coming out of the mainstream theaters because Ghostbusters Afterlife will start this coming Friday, and we plan to go see that. So that looks incredible. So we're looking forward to seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife. But I will watch the Eternals. It should be on streaming soon. Yeah. I would imagine it'll be on Disney Plus here sooner than later. So I'll definitely check it out. So it's not for not wanting to see it, just haven't gotten around to it. So I'll check it out and give you my 2 cents. But
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was something to see. Great visuals. Set up some great storylines, and make sure you understand that there are two post-credit scenes. Yes. Yep. I didn't know that. I laughed after the first one, and I didn't find out till I saw the internet, so I had to look it up on YouTube. Okay. Okay. So that was great.
Yeah, always stay for 2 at Marvel. They typically will have the mid-credit now, and then the final credit scene. Well, I did see a movie. Allie and I went last Thursday. One of those Fathom events. They do like a special showing, one night only type deal in different theaters. Yeah. So they had a showing of the Rocky IV director's cut. So Sylvester Stallone came back.
Yeah.
And he redid some portions of Rocky IV, which you might know is.
Seen that.
It's streaming now. I think it's on Amazon Prime, so you can check it out. You can rent it at the very least. Okay.
Yeah.
But Rocky versus Drago. So it's about 40-some minutes of new footage. He took out some stuff as well, so it didn't net a whole lot longer. But I got to tell you, you can read reviews on it. It's mixed reviews, but more than not,
I'm sure I would enjoy it regardless.
You would definitely
it's new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just a Rocky nut. You know what I mean? Just love everything about it, even the corny ones. I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely. What he did is, and he didn't reshoot anything. He just found he had other scenes that didn't use.
That's great. That's a treat to the fans. Yeah,
absolutely. So he did a lot more with the Rocky and Apollo friendship in this. And it was more of this like Warriors Code type thing. So that's what really. So Apollo really talked to Rocky about wanting to come back because of this Warrior Code thing, and
the Warriors Code, there's no surrender.
Absolutely. So that kind of played through the movie. He took out some goofy scenes, like the whole stupid Paulie birthday with the robot and all that garbage.
Right.
He took all that out.
Yeah.
And there were some, he had some enhanced, added scenes in the fighting scenes, and they changed. I won't do any spoilers. We kind of changed some things at the end that made it a lot more sense.
There's no denying that there's a lot of cornball stuff.
Of course.
In my opinion, Rocky 1 is one of the greatest movies ever made. The acting, man, I thought he was just phenomenal in this movie. For a guy who's been made fun of his acting, Rocky 1 and 2, the acting was just utterly incredible in that movie. I feel the storyline, it was just so realistic, such great dialogue, the humor in it. You got to catch the subtle. Some of the stuff he says, just brilliant. Rocky 2 was right there with it. And of course, he became a product of the 80s, with the commercialism of the movie with Rocky 3 and, of course, Brother Mr. T, which I still was a great movie. But, you can see it was the camp, the hokiness that was coming into it. And, of course, that continued, but still great stories. And I thought the last 2 that he did, and, of course, Creed, were just getting back to that old Rocky 1 and 2 formula, phenomenal stuff. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, if you're a fan, go check that out. You go check that. And in this one, there's a scene you get a glimpse of young Creed, which you did not see in the original cut. So she's sitting at Apollo's funeral with two young kids, a boy and a girl. So it's like,
isn't it amazing the stuff that we never get to see?
Absolutely.
Think of all the movies we've seen. There's so many movies now that have come out and say never before seen footage, and it's amazing. Like, wow, you should see some of the stuff from the Avengers movies. You get time, go on YouTube.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did you see in the Avengers Endgame the footage that they didn't put into the movie?
I haven't seen any of that.
They show Stark in the afterlife talking to his daughter, who's now
I did see that.
all stuff like that. Pretty incredible.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So yeah,
Right.
if you're a fan, go check it out for sure. Then yeah, I agree with you. Check out some of these cut scenes of some of these iconic movies, and you get definitely a different perspective.
Okay.
So yeah, so there you go.
All right, Fish. Well, carry us on with some pop culture, my friend.
Yeah, so other stuff here in the news of pop culture. Don't want to get too much into it. I know you and I aren't super interested in it, but Britney Spears was freed of her conservatorship with her father. You know, this is huge in the world of pop culture. So, I mean, it's really, we talked in a prior episode that it's. I mean, we're happy for her. We're happy she has control of her life. It would be a horrible, horrible thing for any adult that cannot control his or her life if they are mentally
this is what this
competent.
is about, control.
Yes, absolutely. So, but we were interested in just the outpouring of fans and protesters and all this that are just losing their minds over this. But hey, listen, if you're a fan, we don't knock you. We just thought it was interesting. We're happy for Britney, but that made a lot of news with the past couple of days.
I didn't have a problem with any of that, and the fans or whatever. It's just, I saw two grown men crying, and I'm just going to say this right now, that if I'm ever, near you, if you're a man especially, and I catch you crying over Britney Spears, I'm going to punch you in your face. Just want you to know that right now. I just want you to know. Okay? All right.
Duly warned out there.
Yes.
If we ever have a public appearance, don't
get a lot.
You better not damn cry over Britney Spears. You're gonna get a punch in the face. And then some normalcy coming up here, Keith. We know that it's hard to even believe. Thanksgiving is a week from Thursday. And the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's his 95th year this year. Last year, if you watched the parades at all, it was very strange and eerie because the floats came down and all that. There was nobody on the street.
Right, very eerie. Very eerie.
This year they're doing the whole normal parade this year. There's going to be some new balloons, including Drago, which is Baby Yoda, a couple new Pokemon balloons, and then a couple other things here. So just kind of getting back to normal. Macy's Day. Is this something that you are remotely interested in, these parades? Do you watch them at all still?
Sure.
Is it too hokey anymore or what?
I watched them at least for a little bit. To me, I guess I call them emotional anchors. And these are things that anchor you, because we get older, we forget. The older we get, the further away we get from our childhood. And these are things that anchor you to your childhood, that just bring up great memories.
True.
And I don't ever want to let those go. Sometimes I'll sit and watch for a little bit and just reminisce, sitting with my brothers and sisters, early morning, families around, food smells coming out the kitchen, just great times. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy it. But here's why, when we were in the production meeting, you brought that up, and I said, okay, I really want to talk about this for a minute. I'm just confused, Fish. I don't know what to believe. You read that story, and the first thing popped in my mind is a big story I read today on the internet. Officials deeply concerned about COVID surge during the winter months. Okay, so with officials, because obviously they're not the same officials that are making parades and stuff. I don't know what message to believe here, man.
Yeah.
Are we really concerned? But we're back to having, I don't know, man. That's really confusing. I urge everybody, if you're going to be out there in the streets of the parade, be careful. Yeah, it was eerie last year. It was very eerie. It was very disturbing. It was almost scary. I know it made people worry. What's going to happen? Where are we going? But if you're going to be out there on the streets, be careful. Take precautions. I mean, this stuff's no joke, man.
Yeah, I guess I think different because it's outdoors and all that stuff. But still, you're right. I mean, you still can be next to people and everything else. So you're right. Just go at your own risk. Be careful if you're not, if you haven't been sick or you haven't been, vaccinated. Just take extra
Yeah. I
precautions, like
mean,
you say.
it's outdoors, but look all the interaction, all the shops that'll be
Sure.
open, all that
Yeah,
type of stuff going on.
you're right.
All the people back, underneath the balloons and stuff together,
Sure.
under carrying the floats, all that type of stuff. So,
Yep. Just be careful.
okay.
And I agree with your thoughts on the childhood stuff. I don't watch the whole parading. To me, there's too many ads, if you will,
Yes.
anymore. It's like every other float is like somebody selling an album or this or
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I'm not interested in all that. But I tell you, if I watch it at all, you better believe I want to. I toward the end of that parade, I will stop what I'm doing and wait for Santa Claus to come down. That
Yeah.
every year gets me a little bit emotional and
Little
seeing that.
bit. Yeah.
It is seeing. It's like it's the same guy probably for the last few
Mhm.
years or whatever it is. But it's just that
It's a great feeling.
excitement. Yeah, that excitement
Yeah.
is you seeing Santa come down. That is not not lost on me quite
Good.
yet. So
Good. Good.
yeah.
Good.
All right, and then a couple passings here, and I'll let you do your stuff because we're about
Okay.
halfway through. Uh, I'll just mention this real brief. It's not a passing, but Paul Rudd was named Sexiest Man Alive by People magazine.
Mhm.
Uh, and if you haven't seen any of these bits here, go check it. Just look up on YouTube Paul Rudd, Sexiest Man Alive.
Yeah. I
He
want
he
to
did
choose
some
that.
pretty hilarious bits
I
on
like the guy.
Stephen Colbert and different stuff. And he just strikes me as very humble and fun and just a really cool, he'd been married for several years,
Yeah.
family man, all that stuff. So it's very cool to see him
I was really
do
glad they brought
well.
him into the Marvel universe. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So go check out some of that stuff. It's pretty entertaining.
Now, where did you say I finished in the voting?
Let's see. He was first. I think we were in the top 40 or 50. I think. But, me,
Okay.
you, Skin, somewhere in there.
Somewhere. Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Is that
Yeah.
40,000 or
Top 40
40th
as far as
country?
well, it's top 40 who's involved in this podcast, which is strange
Oh,
because I didn't even know we even had 40 or 50 people involved in this
yeah.
podcast.
You might
You
want to
think
check
it
some
would have been?
sources.
Yeah, we might have been at least the top 3 or
Yeah.
4.
Crunch those numbers again. Get back to me.
Yeah, I certainly would do that. And we did have a couple unfortunate passings here recently. Dean Stockwell, actor, he was definitely known for playing in Quantum Leap
Mm-hmm.
alongside Scott Bakula. He was 85 years of age, and you mentioned he was also very big on the new
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
I would have had to look him up if it had not been for the newest, which is decade old now, but remake of Battlestar Galactica, which I think is just one of the greatest shows ever made, especially as far as the remake is concerned. He was number one, the first Cylon that was made to look like a human being. And
Very
of
good.
course, there were several versions of him on the show, and he was throughout the entire series. He played like a minister leader in one, and he was on somewhere else playing this role, that role. Great actor.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Over 70 years of acting in his career, it says here. So he obviously started very young. And then in Winter, who was the dolphin who starred in the Dolphin Tale films, and she had the prosthetic tail, you might remember. 16 years of age, succumbed to an illness and
That's
passed
terrible.
away as well. So, they certainly tried to, save her and all of that. So just sad. If you watch those movies, I think it were
It's
like
very
late 80s,
sad.
90s, I think. I
Yeah,
don't even remember when these were, but good movies, heartwarming tale for sure. And, so there you have it. So we
very
remember,
sad when you
yeah.
hear, especially a young person, so young.
Yeah, this is the actual dolphin passed away, brother.
Oh, the dolphin.
The dolphin herself passed away. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, great.
No, it's okay. Not the yeah. She was 16 years residing in a Florida
What is that
aquarium.
in dolphin years? Is that good, bad, or?
That's a good question. We'll have to do some extra as we look at our numbers research and how we fared in the Sexiest Man Alive. We'll check out how old dolphins live to be typically. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So there
right.
you have it, man. That's what I got in the world of pop culture. You got some stuff in music and sports here, sir.
All right. Music. And while we're in music, I want to give a shout out to someone very dear to me, to Tanya Baldwin-Foose.
Yes.
Not only a dear friend of mine, we were in a band together for a long, long time, and a long, long time ago. One of the great singers, the entertainer out of Northeast Ohio. I love her dearly, and she is doing some incredible things with educating young people in the Northeast Ohio area. And I'm going to be featuring that on my new show. So look for that. I want to say hi, Tanya, and I love you. And I know for a fact that she is an avid listener. So I want to say thank you to her. So awesome. Okay.
I loved you guys back then, by the way. Great stuff. So you
Thank
guys
you, brother.
enjoyed
Appreciate
seeing
that,
you
man.
back in the day. Absolutely.
Sure missed that band. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get some tidbits out the way real quick
Sure.
in music news, man. As I was looking at this day in music, the first thing I thought this day, Roy Clark, the great Roy Clark, singer, musician. He died on this day at age 85 in 2018 in Tulsa. Complications from pneumonia. Roy Clark was best known for hosting or co-hosting the show Hee Haw, which was a national televised country variety show from 1969 to 1997. I don't think there was anything like that in country music, especially with such longevity. Incredible show. Hee Haw is the only show of that nature that spread across racial lines. Whoever, I know just all kinds of people love that show because it was so entertaining. I thought it did wonders for country music and country music stars who might have ever been heard of before.
Sure.
And I thought it kind of brought that world into the forefront. And you know, they were great at making fun of themselves. Anybody who can laugh at themselves, I love you. You know, I can't stand people take themselves so seriously. We talked about that. We're talking about Chappelle and some of his material, but Hee Haw, these people laughed at themselves. Some of the great country humor. And I just want to talk about their impact on the world, especially America.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch that show as a kid with my grandparents in this very house years ago, and I agree with you. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't really consider myself a country music fan as a kid, but that was stuff. It's like I liked the music. It was the old, it certainly was some of the classic country artists were on that show back then. Just to me, that's still country music
now,
to me.
But I didn't like the artists part.
Yeah,
I love when the picking and the banjo was going off. They were incredible.
Yeah.
But the skits and the acting is what I loved more at that time. I can appreciate the artists more now.
I agree with you. To me, that's still country music back then. That to me, that's country music. But anyway, I agree with you. The skits were great, funny. I like the salute in the small towns. You had
great.
Grandpa doing the recipes and Minnie Pearl and the girls wearing the very skimpy. You giving me the weird feelings as a young boy watching that show and stuff like that. But yeah, and Roy Clark and Buck Owens, man, those two guys, they had good banter together.
Yes,
and
they did.
Man, when they played, just incredible stuff.
Talk about some Pickin and Grinnin, man. Wow.
Holy cow. And that was a regular routine they did with a Pickin and Grinnin, like you say. So yeah, just a great show. Like you say, you just never saw anything like it. And
surprised nobody's tried to recreate anything like that now.
Yeah.
Really, really surprised. Such the way country music is today, you would think.
The art of the variety show is just is past us, I guess.
That's a good point. That'd be worth something talking about in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about things kind of passed away, 2015 on this day, the great trumpeter Miles Davis. Boy, you talk about pioneer in so many ways. I don't even have time to list it. But he was voted the greatest jazz artist of all time by listeners of a UK station on the BBC radio. Something I will definitely won't argue with. I think you could go Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Charlie Parker, Billie Holiday. You can't go wrong in picking any of those people. But I saw this story, and I started thinking about jazz. You don't even hear that word anymore. Is jazz something is it passe? Is jazz prevalent nowadays, Fisher? Is this a lost art? or is this a bad thing? Is it a good thing? What do you think, man?
You're right, man. It's just maybe it's just this area. I'm sure I would like
Mm-hmm.
to think it probably down south and New Orleans and all that's probably very prevalent.
Yeah,
Where it has more of its roots. But yeah, around here it's like I can't think of it. There's blues clubs, which
yeah,
I haven't been to those yet either. I'd like to go check those out. There's even one downtown Akron to check out. But I'm interested in that type of stuff. Yeah, I just don't really. I mean, you can stream anything, obviously, in the world. I just don't sit around and think, I would like to listen to jazz music. And
right.
maybe we're missing out here. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to be very
And you don't see it
popular
out.
around here.
I remember in the '80s, your more commercial jazz was kind of brought to the forefront with with your Kenny G's and
Yeah,
things of
yeah,
that
yeah,
nature.
yeah.
And then some of your more traditional artists got fed off of that, a little bit. But you don't even see that anymore.
No,
I just I said the word jazz. I don't even hear jazz, the word anymore. Um, as a musician and a music teacher, I find that very troubling because jazz is the only one of the only American-made music forms. Originated here in America, and truly something that's ours. Didn't come from overseas, didn't originate, some other country. But I hope it has a resurgence. So it just really hit me like, wow, okay, all
let's
right.
make it a
So
point to listen to some jazz as we have time. We'll come
let's
back and
let's
make some
listen to some
recommendations
jazz.
on the show here. How about
That
that?
sounds like
We'll
a
do
great
that.
idea. Okay,
Yeah,
make a note of that. Okay,
in honor of
so
Miles Davis,
and
at the
honor
very
Miles
least.
Davis.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now I think this story kind of pairs with this. This
Hmm.
day in 2007, Jay-Z went to #1 on the U.S. album charts with the American Gangster, his 10th #1 album. That's incredible. His 10th. I looked up him on the internet the other day. This guy's worth over $1 billion. His net worth,
Hmm.
incredible. Uh, it made him second with Elvis Presley for the most #1 albums.
Wow.
Only the Beatles have more at 19. This is unbelievable. One of his #1 albums. I don't know if you've ever heard the Collision Course Project with Linkin Park.
I have not.
I gotta tell you what, dude. You don't have to be a Jay-Z fan, and you don't have to be a Linkin Park fan. But he joined with Linkin Park, and they combined their songs to make a bunch of new songs. It is utterly phenomenal.
Okay.
One of the best things I've ever heard.
Sounds good.
Oh man, it's great. But anyway, I'm sitting here thinking, man, we don't hear the word jazz anymore. But here's a rapper is tied for second place for most albums, #1 all time. I'm not knocking rap. There's a lot of rap I love. I grew up loving the Fat Boys and Sugar Hill Gang and all that stuff.
Sure.
A lot of the rap today I find to be utter garbage. I wouldn't listen to rap today if you paid me. But what does this say about music, man? When a rapper is second all time with #1 albums, and we don't even hear the word jazz. Interesting dynamic, I thought.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, certainly, yeah, you get a lot more exposure, I think, too. I mean, certainly rap artists, there's a lot more exposure to them and their music on social media and all of that. So I'm sure if we look, there's jazz musicians that have stuff out there on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is so accessible. And then, definitely in the public eye, gets kids' attention. I don't know. It's just different. But
Yeah.
having
Now,
said that, I mean, if the music was bad and people weren't listening to it, it's not going to surpass some of these huge artists from years past. So,
yeah, no,
got to
I'm
be
going to say
something to it.
this. I'm going to say this
Hmm.
to be fair, Jay-Z. I've learned this. Jay-Z is more than just a rap artist. Jay-Z is, I guess, cultural icon, if you will.
Hmm.
Jay-Z is a story, whether you like his music or not. Just looking at his career, I watched some HBO specials on him. He's been telling a story for the better part of 10 years now. And you find it interesting if you watch his concerts on TV. And one of the reasons I know for a fact that he's tied for second all time, because his audience, while I look out there, predominantly white. He has reached, especially young white kids, especially males. He has said something to them that they grab hold to. Rick Rubin produces a lot of his albums. The great Rick Rubin has done a lot of our metal albums. And, he's like bipartisan politics. He's reached across the aisle. And I think that's part of his success. So, interesting. Okay. Yeah. My last music story is 2002. The UK music industry made a decision. I thought this was a great decision that they included computer downloads as part of the pop singles chart in an attempt to restore credibility to the top 40. Now, in order to try to attempt to restore credibility, it means credibility has been lost. And I thought this was a great idea because right now you look at charts and stuff, and I think they're skewed because it doesn't account for downloads, well, illegal downloads, legal downloads, streaming, things of that nature. Do you think this would be a good idea for us to do over here if we're not doing it?
I agree. I mean, it's if you're trying to rate the most popular music, you have to look at every way that you could listen to that music. And certainly, one of the, if not the most prevalent way that people listen to music these days is streaming. Whether you, like you say, you do it through your subscription service, you buy a song on iTunes or something, you stream it on YouTube, whatever it is. And absolutely all that stuff should be measured into the, the popularity of a song from a ranking perspective, without question.
The internet really, really helped artists in a lot of ways, exposure-wise, but really hurt them as far as album sales and things of that nature.
Sure.
So it's kind of, I remember, the money they could make off selling albums is so minuscule now. That's why they have to tour so much. You got your Kiss shirt on. They've had how many farewell, goodbye, end of the road, so long, we're never coming back.
We really mean it this time.
Yeah, we mean it for sure this time. Not that those guys needed money, but just using them as an example. It's sometimes I feel bad, especially as a musician. My phone is connected to my car via Bluetooth. If I'm not playing music from my Apple Music, I'll play something from YouTube. And it's like, Cooper sent me a couple of songs from the new Fates Warning album. Blew my mind. Boom, pulled it up. They're not getting any money from that, and I feel bad. So I thought this was really, really interesting. This was 2002. It's 2021 now. And that's the first time I've ever heard of that. So I don't know if the U.S. is doing it or not, but I thought it was an interesting Gen X story. So, okay. So that's all I got for music. I want to end in a little sports story here. We want to revisit something very, very controversial. And that is the Jon Gruden story. Of course, we know a few weeks ago, private emails of Jon Gruden was released to the public. He had made some, sexual comments, if you will, and what some people call a racist comment in regards to Maurice. I forget his last name, but he's president of the NFL Players Association. And he has some very, very thick lips, if you want to be honest. And Jon Gruden made the comment that his lips look like two Michelin tires. The racist sticker was slapped on his forehead the next day. The media lit up. Within days, Jon Gruden was fired. And all hell broke loose. Now, some other people were mentioned in some of these emails that it just kind of went by the wayside. One person I know for sure that really got a skate was Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter is known for being the cracked, on-the-spot reporter. He's always, on the air, got his iPhone looking at, or whatever phone he has, looking at stories as they come in, or emails as they come in, or texts as they come in. He's supposed to be the guy getting the news as it happens. And, he was caught dead to rights, basically asking someone, what do you want me to put in the story? What do you want me to take out? Basically almost fabricating the story or engineering it. his credibility should be highly questioned. And he got a pass on this. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, Jon Gruden finally spoke up. And one of the comments he made is, stay tuned, there's more to come. I don't know if he's talking about vindicating himself. There's speculation that there are other people who are going to be drawn into this because obviously he was talking to somebody, right? And some people whose names maybe didn't get mentioned. There's speculation that Roger Goodell might be implicated in something. I highly doubt that, but it will. But one of the reasons I was, when stories like this come out, the thing that irritates me most is the race mongers immediately rise up. I see a lot of people, especially white people on Facebook, making, if a white person has been, accused of something, they start making comparisons. Well, this white person did this, well, this white person did that. And it's not that I mind what they're saying or whether there's truth to it or not. It's just about how they say it. And I think that's what the whole thing's about. They're saying it not from making a point. They're saying it from a standpoint of hatred. And that's why their message gets lost. But if you really look at actually what they're saying, I read a comment today, and I tell you what, I'm in total agreement. The comment was, man, they act like Jon Gruden had 23 sexual misconduct allegations against him. Oh, no, wait, that guy's still working. And I went, wow. This is really strong, a point right here. Some guy made a hateful comment. Well, if this person was black or Jew, he'd get a pass. I thought that was kind of ignorant. But what does it say that Deshaun Watson still is drawing a paycheck with unbelievable allegations made against him? Jon Gruden has been labeled everything but a child of God and is out of work. I found out today that Mark Davis, the owner, was not going to fire him, but was pressured by the NFL to fire him, which I think was duly unfair. I'm going to tell you right now, as a black man, I don't think he should have been fired. Number one, those emails were private. Number two, that he wasn't working for the NFL when he did that. It should have never been revealed and in public. And number three, let's look at what he said. Let's just put it out there. Maybe it was hateful, but I know black people who have said much worse than that. If Dave Chappelle would have said it, it's funny. Jon Gruden said it, he's a racist. I think it's totally unfair to put the racist label on this man when he's been working and the NFL in and out with African Americans and every other kind of race for years. And no one's ever said a word about him being remotely close to being a racist. And because of that comment, I'm sorry, I could have easily seen myself saying that to you or Skinner, jokingly, privately, not out of hate, but we make fun of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I could easily see that. I don't think it's fair, and I think some of the people who have made some of these comments, even though they might be coming from a standpoint of hate, have a very, very good point. Your thoughts, Fish?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's everything you said was 100% accurate as far as these are private conversations many years ago. Now, if you're the head coach today and you're overheard saying something that's questionable and your current level of character comes into question and all that, that might be different, but also compounded with the fact this was many years ago, and can people learn and grow and I don't know, you could be a different person than you were. I mean, heck, we like to think we've all grown in the past few years as well. You know what I'm saying? Plus, like you said, if his current character was coming into question, somebody would have said something somewhere. Somebody would have said, "Hey, guy said a comment to me in the locker room," or this,
when you got a 10-year contract, somebody would have said something. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be fair and say this. For the person who made the Deshaun Watson comparison, everything's not black and white. Okay, let's make sure I want to be fair about that. Deshaun Watson packs a stadium.
Yep.
So a lot of it's money and not black and white. So I believe he was made an example out of. I believe he was fired because there are powers that be that don't want their names connected to this. And now he's saying more to come. And that might be those people crapping their pants right now, too. So
sure. Yeah, but it's going to see how this shakes out. I mean, if at the end of the day, it's like he's standing up and saying, "Nope, this is not me. This is not right. I don't agree with it," and he is fighting for his rights here. And we'll see what happens. So
Yeah, I've seen one player, former player, say, "Yep, see, told you," and he's a world class jerk anyway, and that's Keyshawn Johnson. And of course, he was, I believe, let go. He had his issue with Gruden when he played, and obviously still holding on to a grudge. So I don't even know why they even interviewed this jerk. He was one of the class jerk wide receivers, with your Antonio Browns and Terrell Owens and whatever have you. So, but I haven't seen one person come out and say, yeah, this guy's done this, that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I've been telling you this. Not one person.
right.
Not one single. How can you slap a racist sticker on somebody and there's not one shred of evidence from anywhere else?
Yeah.
And come on, man.
If you go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, man, don't pee on me and tell me it's rain.
Yeah, I mean, if someone would have felt that way and maybe been intimidated to mention something, now would have been the time to kind of safely mention, if you will, that there was sort of out there. You're right, you didn't hear anything since, really. So, yeah, let's see what happens. So if if it's unwarranted and he's found okay, then maybe he finds his way back into the world of football, one way or the other. Yeah. Hopefully. So we'll see.
That'll be a long journey back, I tell you, man.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah. I just want to say out there, especially to you young people, anybody really, you got to understand something. Cyber world is forever. It's forever. Delete is a fantasy. There's no such thing as delete. Somebody can pull it down somewhere. So watch what you put out there, man, and cyber world, man, on the internet, text messages. It is forever.
That's right. Fairly or barely entertaining podcast. They're out there. You look back someday and be like, hey, Grandpa, what was this you put up there? Now,
the hypocrisy. Listen here. The hypocrisy saying that, and we do this show.
Welcome to It Came From GenX with Keith, Brian, and Jon Gruden. And Jon Gruden. And welcome, John. Yeah.
I'll do the old Eddie Murphy. Wasn't me. But it looks just like you, Grandpa. Wasn't me. It says Keith Porter. Wasn't me.
Yeah. Can't prove it.
Oh, well. Okay. Yep. Well, hey, that's all we got for you today, man.
Hey, that's perfect. That's it right exactly about the top of the hour. So great timing.
Well, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, you can email us safely, and it won't come back and haunt you. So you can email the show at itcamefromgenx330@gmail.com. Give us your feedback, suggestions. If you agree with stuff that we're saying, you disagree with stuff we're saying, we'll be happy to share your opinions on the show if you'd like. Thanks for tuning in. So Skinner's coming back from Florida today, I believe.
Get back here, Skinner. We need you, buddy.
That's right. So 3 of us will return next week. New episodes post on podcast every single week at WNBU.org and YouTube. Look for us there. And for Keith Porter, I'm Brian Fisher, and our returning other brother from Florida, Mike Skinner. Thanks for tuning in. Tune again next week, and we appreciate your support out there. Stay strong. Gen X.
Spray Skinner down when he gets back.
That's right. He's coming back from Florida. He's fully contaminated. That's right.
Oh, man.
Peace.